Hey, the cricket season is finally here. Now, I know that we've been playing cricket. We've had the one-dayers, we've had the state cricket. But for me, the cricket season doesn't really start until the first test. Now, maybe that's showing a bit of my age. Maybe that's showing a bit of...
Well, it's how invested you are. And I'm with you. It doesn't really start for me until the test series starts.
Yep. So there's been an issue in the last, 10 years maybe, that... or maybe even longer, the AFL and other sports, including racing and tennis, of course, in January, which is a little bit different because it's after the fact, but that they've suffocated the cricket season. The cricket season is such a small window, or it doesn't start at a certain time. The AFL have the draft, the trade period, they have all this sort of stuff that goes into it, and cricket sort of tries to scramble to find some relevance for a while. Maybe they need to get the first test back into October.
So we talked about this earlier. I always thought Test cricket really started in November. You're saying, I can't even remember, this is how old I am now, it actually went back to October?
Yeah, there used to always be a test at the Gabba in October, kick off the test season. And often when it was two teams coming, you'd have 6 tests and 3 and 3. So it would be a bit more spread out. Obviously, with India being here and England in the past, when you've got 5 test matches, they can't be here for 6 months. 6 months, so that makes it a bit harder. But I feel until we get that first test, it feels a bit more real.
Well, is that why they're trying to, I guess, throw in the pajama games a little bit more in October?
But I think it hurts more than anything because it's a bit of nothing. It's a bit where one-day cricket's almost out the door apart from World Cups.
Well, I guess if you start at, say, 23rd of October to try and push that out to... last test in Sydney, which is around about the 3rd, I think it might be the 3rd of January or next year. Yeah, that's a long way to bring people out, isn't it?
Well, it's a long time, I should say. It's a long time. A 5-test series, it is a long time. So you've got to make adjustments, obviously, with England and India having that many. But maybe we just need to be in a position to make it work. Maybe we should have a test straight after the AFL Grand Final. I don't know, but I need to find some relevance. And I think if we get it away a bit earlier. One thing I do miss in Test cricket is the pitch report with Tony Gregg. We were talking about this a little bit earlier on. Back in the day with the rental car keys or whatever, he'd be staying over in WA and he'd be getting a Hertz or something and he'd be like, this key will do. And
giving them a plug.
Yeah, and loved it. And so good. So I miss all that sort of coverage, but looking forward to what Fox is bringing at the moment. Of course, Channel 7 as well.
Some big names for both
names.
Coverages.
Really good.
So what do you watch? Are you a 7 or you're a Fox?
No, I'm Fox because I like the no ads.
Yeah.
And you pay for it, I know. 4K coverage. It's pretty good.
Eddie?
I reckon I'm just a 7-man, but I want to be a Fox.
Whatever, Eddie. Whatever, Eddie.
Ricky Ponting there, I'll have to do
Yeah, I do miss Ricky
There should be an
Ponting.
alert on Fox Footy when Ricky's commentating so you can just flick back,
listen
to Ricky, and then flick back to Fox because the rest of them are no good.
Yeah, I love Ricky, and it is. I love the comments from Mitch Marsh this week. Again, he's been around doing it a little bit lately about how nervous he is. He's just human to go out and bat. And I'm like, when you're a kid watching these guys, you think they're superhuman. You don't, Warner goes out and just goes, I'm going to start smashing them around, or Ricky Ponting's going to make another 100. You don't realise that they're actually a little bit toey before they get out there and have a bat.
We'll say him before. We were very lucky, though, between that spot of, let's say 97 to 2006. You always thought Ricky was going to make 100. You always thought Warren was going to take 5, or Pigeon was going to take 5, or Mark Waugh was going to make 80.
Hayden and Langer were going to get off to a flying start.
We were just spoilt. So now I understand because these players, this group, they're not that group. So they are human.
They're not, you're right.
They were superhuman, that last team.
Yep, they dominate, and they'd set the platform for players like Ricky Ponting, for Damien Martin and Mark Waugh.